Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first official podcast with me, MrPtrick, and you've met him before. On the Ghost Vlog.
Yeah.
This is Mr. River. We're in the kitchen. We do We haven't really had a chance to sit down because, well, COVID, pretty much. So, England's in a heat wave, and we decided to have some coffees. So,
Nice.
There you go. See if we can get that in.
Someone enjoys the moustache.
How have you been, sir? You been right?
What is that?
What was weird?
Heart as balls, enjoying the weather. And trying not to burn, really. And it's getting harder and harder to find creative ways to cool off in this sun.
Yeah.
It's pretty horrendous. Went down the rivers, managed to absolutely destroy myself in a river.
Show them what you did.
Oh, but bandaged and got
Well, just show the bandage, you don't have to get like...
Yeah, well, make sure you wear footwear when playing in rivers.
So I don't know about you, but
good
like,
life advice.
Rivers are weirdly a dangerous place to go barefoot.
Yeah.
It's just weird, because honestly, because I'm out of glass and like... Because we used to go down to, like Dad used to take us down to Farley, didn't he? And like, he had his goggles and you could like look under the water and there'd be like old box of like china. Smashed.
Or, best one was my watch that lived under there for a year.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
Until the alarm went off.
Yeah, when did you lose that? That was, like, you lost, how old were we? We were about...
I don't know, maybe 12, 13.
12, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, so, your watch fell off.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find it to save our lives. And how long went by?
It was the following summer when we went back out.
So, a good year.
And your dad was getting irate that he could hear a beeping and we thought he was just off his tits having like a stroke or something.
Yeah.
And then he went off, got the little goggles, came back, searched around and came back with my watch. Strap was ruined, but I mean...
Survived a year
but
with
the
the alarm
watch itself, was the alarm going off? Boom.
Ridiculous.
That's a good advert for beep.
Thing is though, you can't remember the app, like the make of the watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't remember that. No. Yeah, but don't go playing in rivers. So there you go.
Yeah, or wear shoes.
Or wear shoes. Just don't wear shoes, everyone.
No, wear shoes in the river.
I said don't wear shoes.
No, or wear shoes.
Or wear shoes. Well, we'll see in the edit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking good to have you back over, man. It's been a fucking shit year.
Really weird, isn't it?
It's like everyone's depressed. Even like
suicide memes.
even like the normal people. Yeah. It's just it is though, everyone is.
Yeah.
I know as British people we moan a lot. It's our thing. And if other countries get annoyed at us for moaning, that's another thing to moan about. So we do enjoy it a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like with the football.
Enjoy a moan?
Yeah. Like when the football was on.
Oh, for fuck.
Right, yeah. And I don't watch football, same as you, don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Our fans were horrendous, but I think all football fans are horrendous.
Yeah, I don't think there's any particular, ours are...
Because I'm pretty sure there's a gang
specimens.
There's a gang in Italy that go around beating up other fans.
There's a particular one that goes around stabbing them, I believe,
Yeah.
I've heard, like somewhere Finland or somewhere random like that. I just don't think it's a sport that brings out the best in people. Like, how many times have you looked at football fans and went, that's a
Well,
group of
that
lads.
statistic was going around. It was like domestic abuse goes up by like 34%.
Yeah, 38%.
38%. Because
Well,
if they lose the football, if they lose the football,
if I'm crying, why you're crying too?
Because like Dad was a big burly dude, and he had a bit of a temper on him, but like, and he got really into when I was playing football, like under 12s, 13s.
Yeah.
But he'd never go home if I lost and beat mum. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be
just an idiot.
You have to be some sort of like different specimen to get chimp, basically. Like to go back home,
dragged around by the thumb in a football under his arm.
Just kicking at her.
Like completely different to the Australians. They're like, why's he got a flip flop? But yeah, no, I can't really get the mentality of it. And even just what that guy, did you see the dude that lit the flare up his ass?
Sorry. No, you got to start from the finish.
Right, okay.
Start from the start.
And
Start from the beginning.
finish.
Sorry.
Right.
What do you mean? What
So
happened?
there was some football hooligan that got filmed, and there was this dude in the picture that you see, like, intently staring at his ass. Like, no, it's not probably in there. I can't remember the guy's name. But basically, he got absolutely wasted, admitted to doing loads of drugs, and snuck into the festival, the game thing.
Right.
It was actually like this huge thing that there was over 2,500 people got into the grounds to watch this match without tickets, and he was one of them.
Which football game?
The one where we lost at.
Recently.
Against
Italy. Right. Okay. Yeah. Because loads of fans broke into the stadium.
Yeah, there was
thousands of fans broke in.
some dude get a flare up his arse.
Someone flare up his ass. Was that?
You've got to have seen the picture.
No.
Oh, hold on, wait there.
Wait there.
Junker.
Send it. No, send it to me.
Okay.
Send it to me.
Okay.
Because then I can put it. I can put it on the screen for you guys. Yeah.
Flare. In bottom.
Honestly, the things like in most people's
This
search
one.
bars. What do you mean this one? What's going on?
Yeah, well, he then went to the...
What did you type in for that? Because I can't put that on the podcast. Like it would be blurred.
Man with flare in... Oh no, if you look, because it's from the date a particular thing, they've already
From
put
who?
a particular newspaper, they've already put a slight blurring around the
No, I
image.
wouldn't cut it with YouTube. Like they're just
Well, anyway.
even though I've only got 22 subscribers, they still come down on you like a ton of
Just tell them to Google football man flare bum. And
Google football man flare bum.
I think that worked, can't
Yeah.
I? I'm just going to try those as a random football man. If we get something else.
What's the top 3 things on your search bar? Recent.
You don't want to know. Yeah,
Top 3 things that isn't porn.
How do you look at your...
Or just, if you get rid of everything you search
Okay,
and then just
that's
type on
right.
it and it'll come up with everything you've recently searched. So what's the top 3 just weird shit? I do it, but I'm using the phone to record.
Mine's actually really sensible stuff.
Like what?
So we've got football man flare bum,
Yeah.
the world news, how to find a particular weapon or an item in Skyrim.
Right, okay. I thought it was in the
The command
streets.
system.
Nice.
And then information on stocks and shares.
No.
So actually, there is nothing like the size of a gorilla penis. Which, for those who are interested,
That
is
was one of
why
those times. Yeah, it's...
we
so-
should have
how-
used
how big-
incognito mode.
It's just like, if anyone doesn't know, how big is a gorilla's penis?
It's about an inch.
It's about an inch. It's about an inch. And we discovered that when we... Because we were... What were we searching? We were thinking like... Because we were like, gorillas are really strong, weren't they? Like, they're really powerful animals. And we were like, well, imagine... Because there's that video of that woman who just gets dragged into the forest. Or
Yeah.
the jungle, sorry. And it was because of that, we were like... Because we were like, he could just do what he wanted. It could just grab you and just bum you. And there's nothing you could do. And then we were like, well, I wonder how big its knob is. Because it would destroy you, wouldn't it? And then when we found out it's an inch, we were like, oh, he ain't going to do much damage. We're in.
Or he isn't. Yeah. But yeah, that's still one of the greatest things we just randomly ended up on in Google. But the top picture of just a gorilla, like.
just doing that one.
Picture
Oh, that's amazing.
But yeah, so Neanderthal football fans, yeah, beyond that, I can't really understand why people go mental and beat their wives and shit.
Mm.
It's weird.
I understand the frustration, because like, you're passionate about something, because like, everyone who's a video gamer at some point has destroyed a controller.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I put my hand through the wall. Several times. You broke a baseball bat, I don't know how many controllers you broke, and they're not even as a kid. Last year.
Yeah, no, the start of this year I broke my Elite one.
Oh, that's expensive as well.
And that's the second one I broke as well. So it's
So
just...
that's 240 quid down the drain.
Yeah.
Because you lost a PUBG.
Yeah, probably something very similar to just pure game rage.
Yeah. Which is great.
What I find though, more often now, have you noticed that they seem to be getting flimsier, the controllers? They don't... I've been putting my headphone jack in and out, jacked dying. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
So many other controllers. I think I've got about 4 controllers.
In all fairness, I've had the same controllers for the last like 4 years.
Maybe I'm just heavy-handed. I've got about 4 that have all got broken little jack bits. The headphone.
Yeah, but like,
bits
are
on the
you
bottom.
like in some way, shape, or form intoxicated and just going? Yeah.
Maybe edit that bit out.
No. You said it.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I don't really know. Sometimes I'm intoxicated when I'm gaming, but
Could be that.
always break. They just feel terrible now. They used
Or
to.
maybe you are just quite heavy-handed. Maybe you do grip it quite vigorously. I don't know the right term to use there.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know, but I just find it like more and more stuff you seem to buy it, and then the idea is that you're just going to replace it. Sure.
Yeah, because it was.
Nothing's made to last.
I remember getting really pissed off with iPhones, especially iPhones, because I got hand-me-down phones. So I had like the old Nokia, and then I had like I can't fucking remember, another phone, like a flip phone, and then I had like one of the slidey phones. And then from there, when I first, when I got my first job and I was earning my own money, I was like, well, I can get a decent phone. And I think at the time it was the iPhone 4, because iPhone 3 came out when I was like in year 11, going on into my first year of work, and then like iPhone 4 came out, and I got that phone, and it was amazing. But it was like as soon as the iPhone 5 came out, it was like the software went to shit, and it wouldn't charge, and like my actual charger completely just went no.
Yeah.
And the charger didn't even work on the next phone. Because they change up the fucking chargers every single time.
Every time, yeah.
And it's like, if you buy and they always say to you, like, you have to buy, like, the official one.
For it to charge properly, otherwise you plug it in and you need to charge 2% and it goes.
But my iPhone, because I got the iPhone 5, did I get the iPhone 6? And I think the iPhone 5 was the last one I had, because the iPhone 6, there was no difference. I couldn't find a difference between the iPhone 6 and 5 really, apart from the camera was better. And it's really user-friendly, like the iPhones are really user-friendly, but they don't give you really any customization. They don't. Every time I look at someone's Android phone and I try and do something, I go, I don't know why any of your stuff is. But like me and you have got the same phone.
Yeah.
I can't find anything on your phone because it's in the places you want to put it.
Yeah.
And it's how you do it. And then like, if Danny gets my phone, like if my fiance gets my phone, and then she looks through it, she's like, where'd you keep anything? We've all got the same phone.
Yeah.
But on an iPhone, it's still exactly the same as it was when I had an iPhone 5. So Danny's dad's got an iPhone, and if he's got a problem, I'm just like, yeah, straight away, goes into it, knows exactly where everything is.
There was I was reading something the other, well, it might have been longer than the other day. However,
Where you would, I was reading something. Well, it might have been longer than the other day. You were really reminiscent about how far ago this other day
I'm
was.
trying to remember like the exact details of it, but a few companies have got in trouble for when they release a new phone, slowing the performance down on their older phones, because that technology is now old. They want it to be able to last longer, so they now slow the performance down on their older models. So although it could still,
Oh, when it updates the software.
yeah, I mean,
Because I know loads of people that have complaints on. The only thing I've seen, especially through iPhone, is when they get a new update and then their phone just goes to nothing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I mean, I get it quite often where you'll have a phone and it'll be working fine, and then randomly it'll just suddenly start going, I'm really slow now.
Yeah.
And I find that, like, do you not get updates like 3 or 4 times a week?
Sometimes.
What's going on?
Sometimes. And it's always the same fixes.
Yeah.
It's always a security update, bug errors,
3
improved
generic points, and
audio,
and it's like, well, is it really an
camera
update?
stabilization.
Oh, I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I probably have one on there at a minute, to be fair. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of. I don't really like the idea that we have to keep this in our pocket anyway. Like,
What was it? It was an extension of you, isn't it?
yeah, and it's
Because what was it that Elon Musk said? He was on Joe Rogan, and he said that people are they're like worried about technology, but it's like if you've got a phone, you're basically a cyborg. Because it is an extension of you.
Yeah.
Like, how much smarter are you with your phone than you are without it?
Google.
I think about how it ruined porn for so many people, just having a mobile in their pocket. Gone were the days, gone were the days of you going, I'm 15, 16 years old, mum and dad have gone out, everyone's gone out, I'm having a wank, and I'm going to go on the main, and you had to go on the main computer to do it. And you had to
get one of your mum's old catalogues for like lingerie or whatever. Desperate times.
That one bikini shot and take a break. You were 12, but just like, I've never seen anything so good. But she was like average. But it was the best. It was the best you've ever had. The best wank you've ever had.
Like now,
I know exactly what you mean, though.
And you go on there though now, and you find yourself spending half an hour just trying to decide.
It's too much.
There is too much.
It's too much. When I was a kid, right? Here's a fucking story I'm saying online. When I was like 12, 13, and you first start getting boners all the time. And then you start masturbating a lot.
Probably shouldn't sit there.
Yeah. But it just becomes like it's almost too much. Like you just have to. It's like an addiction. When you get that itch and you get hard,
You gotta scratch it.
you've got to have a wank. So I took one of my mum's magazines into the toilet, and there was like this whole like 3-page thing of like different bikinis for the summer. I'm like 12. I really do. I was 12, 13, right? So I had it open on the sink because it was like good height.
The same thing they've got now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but like
I clean that. Anyway,
but you can easily pop your knob in it. But anyway, so I had it open on there.
What is you doing?
But this is back. So can you remember? So we used to have on our most bathroom doors. It's got like a little. It's either got the twist lock on the actual door, or it's got like a slide lock.
Yeah.
You know, mum and dad's got a slide lock now.
Yeah.
Well, at the time they had that push-in one.
Okay.
That really old push-in lock.
Yeah.
And you could open it up from the other side with that screwdriver thing.
Oh yeah.
That door. So that door was like
a.
The reason, like one of the reasons we changed it is because the door stopped locking. See where I'm going? Right? So the door stopped locking, and I was bashing one out, right? And then all of a sudden, 6'3", 22 stone, Dad comes in, and I'm like, this is a moment in my life when I'm like, oh no, I'm a deer in headlights, right? And I'm just like, and he just like goes. Dad's like, I get the magazine, I close it, before putting my knob away, I close the magazine. Because I'm like, what if Dad's like, this is weird? What if he's more weirded out of what I'm wanking over? Do you know what I mean? I don't know what went through my head. I closed the magazine, practically over my knob.
It didn't have any
No, I didn't get to that point.
Yeah, okay.
That would have been real bad.
Just as you.
Because I'd have been doing the jiggle, like, get on. But he would have just like threw me out. So I was like, I closed the magazine, pulled my pants up, and I ran out with it, and Dad's laughing at me. It's probably why I'm so tough skinned now, and I find it hard to get embarrassed because of this one moment. And then I was like, oh, no, my life is over. I thought my life's over. Right? I couldn't have a wank in my bedroom because I used to share a room with my brother, Joe, and he was in there playing video games. It was on a Saturday. I remember it. It was on a Saturday.
It's acceptable to shuffle on a Saturday.
It was on a Saturday night because Dad was cooking tea and we just picked Mum up from work. Because we used to pick Mum up from work on Saturday. Yeah. So it was about 6 o'clock. Dad's finishing tea and he just comes in the back room to have a wee before dishing up. Finds me having a wank. I'm mortified. I go back into the bedroom, sit next to Joe. He's like, "You alright?" I'm fucking pale. I went, "No, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Nothing's wrong." Dad comes back out of the toilet and just goes, "Pad was having a wank. Pad was having a wank." Luckily, Joe was too intoxicated playing Pez or whatever it was, and Mum has just finished work and couldn't give a shit about one of Dad's other crazy rants.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we never spoke of it.
Oh, I'm gonna ask him next time.
He might remember, but like we've never spoken of it since. Like there was no. So this happened. He was just like didn't act. After that, he didn't act like anything was wrong. If anything, he acted more like a friend, like a best mate, because he was like, he sees himself in Minnie Mouse because he just does weird shit like that. That's not even weird. Was that weird? Wanking in the toilet and stuff like that. I say in the toilet, but just bashing one out because you had a boner and it had to be done.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty. The eye contact. That was intense.
Tell me about your worst wank story.
Oh.
I fucking opened that one, didn't I?
Do you know what? I don't think there is one. Not for actual.
They're all as bad. I can't pick one.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually been caught having a wank.
Oh, no.
Please tell me this isn't ended up. I did get caught by my dad having a foursome though, so. As you do.
As you do. Well.
And you can imagine how that went down.
Yeah.
Literally came in, went absolutely mental. Kicked me out the house, and then when I went back in later, he just went, fair play, lad.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good!
That's good. Yeah, but at least it was just like a fair play moment.
Yeah, at first, like...
So like, how much, so here's the thing, so when we're older men, in our 50s, because Dad would have been before he made disabled, so like 52,
yeah,
53, something like that. So let's say we're in our early 50s, we've got the kiddos, because if I have a kid at 40, 12, 13 kind of thing, so, no, he must have been younger than that. He was 36 when he had me. Yeah, 36.
Late 40s then.
Might have been even earlier. Late 40s. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're old.
17 years ago from now, you'd have been 11, so yeah, so let's say late 40s.
17 years ago.
I know.
Disgusting, isn't it? Absolutely disgusting. So what would you do? Let's not go in the foursome scenario because you don't want to walk in an 11-year-old of a foursome. I was like, what are you doing with your uncle? Like,
oh no. Oh.
I tell the kid, what are you doing with your uncle? I'm like, what are you doing with my son? That's how it should have been.
Joe.
Yeah. Get out of him.
This whole section needs cut out.
Oh, no it doesn't. This isn't offensive. This is jokes. It's not real. It's completely made up.
Oh. You haven't even had the kid yet. The seed might not have even been made. I just want to laugh, but I've had lots of weird escapades anyway, so I'd just probably laugh it off.
Yeah. I'd probably have a conversation with them later on about it.
Saying what?
Not about not about that. Like if I walk down on my kid having that. Was it good?
Like, send us a link. I can see that.
No, we must save him. I don't know. I'd probably just be chill. I'd have a conversation with him afterwards. So he wouldn't, because I felt embarrassed, and I felt embarrassed for a long time because Dad never addressed it.
Yeah.
As much as I'd hate him addressing it, at least it would clear the air.
Yeah.
But because he never addressed it, it was just like, is there going to be a moment where it's just like, why are you wanking in the toilet in like a year's time?
Mm. Yeah, I guess maybe just be like, here's some etiquette. If you're gonna bash one out in the toilet, put a sock on the door, something like that. Set some ground rules. If there's jizz on a tissue, give it a flush. I don't know. I'm trying to make a rhyme for it.
Haikus for wanking in the toilet. I'm not going to try and make one.
No, I'm trying to remember. Is the haiku a 5-1 or is that the
5-7-5 or 7-5-7?
Yeah, or is that not a stanza? I get confused with them all.
I don't know, Rob.
Yeah.
I have no idea anymore.
Yeah, but anyway, so for wanking in a toilet, it's just something that you go through, though, isn't it?
I think as a man, like definitely as a boy, you go through these moments.
Although I will say, I discovered that there is a term, right? Someone from work informed me that he was off for a work jack, and he was off for a wank in the work toilets. I assume because the situation arose, but I didn't realise there was even a term for
a
work jack, which was sneaking off for a wank in the toilets at work. I mean, the name's pretty creative.
Yeah,
but how much time is he getting free?
I mean, that's got me thinking about how many people have. Okay, so there's got people who must have had a wank at work because they have sex at work, right?
Yeah.
Does that happen quite often?
I don't know. I don't know when my mate was joking.
In a big company.
I've not really.
I think in a smaller company, because I work in a small company.
Yeah.
But like when I used to work in retail.
Yeah, I can imagine there's probably a lot of people in Morrison. I mean, look at them. Look at the state of some of them.
Some of them Morrisons.
Some look like they forget to put a transfer on.
Me. I was a produce boy, so definitely. Just got
the
photos is all I knew.
Veg everywhere.
We've got estimates everywhere down this aisle.
Yeah, no, I don't know how common it is, but that was something that I heard the other day, and the fact that there's actually a term for it.
The work jerk.
The work jerk.
It's really, that's odd. It's odd. Like I'm flat out at work constantly. There is not even a time to have a wank. Do you know what I mean? Like I sometimes feel a bit weird having a poo at work because I'm like,
I try and enjoy all good work.
No, work poo's good if you work in a big company.
Yeah.
Because you're pooing on company time. But like, if I have to go in the toilet and it's not a great poo, and I'm in there for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it happens, and I feel like I'm lagging behind now in work.
Yeah. Falling behind.
Yeah.
While you're falling out of your behind.
And Fern has just entered the room.
I struggle to think what you'd even get excited about at work.
Have you been scratching yourself again? Naughty girl! You couldn't do that. You hurt yourself. Go outside. It's really hot. Go into the shade.
Go play in the watermelon.
She's been having around now. And she's off.
She's away on an adventure. No.
There's a nice breeze coming in there. Somewhere, like over there.
Oh. Yeah, I stood over there earlier and got around a bit of breeze.
So wank at work. What workplace, right? So if you work in obviously a building like an office, you can just go to the toilet and have a wank. But what job would that be most difficult to do?
What, having a wank at work?
Yeah.
Building site.
Oh.
Hey, it's a plastic porta cabins. Stink.
Yeah, that would be hard to maintain.
Yeah, like you're gonna think that there's probably only 1 or 2 toilets and lots of workmen wanting to use them. It's gonna be horrendous. And you know what they're like? Especially imagine this heat in a porta cabin. Imagine if you were stuck at work on a building site. Last night you had a skinful and you need to go curl one out, and it ain't gonna be curly and solid. It's gonna be brutal. Yeah, in a porta cabin in this heat trying to curl one out.
Nasty.
Yeah, so I think porta cabin having a wank and first thought builds. I think other jobs that'd be difficult.
I mean, this is the first podcast. I'm just going to call it wank.
I mean, I feel like.
But this is informative.
For what?
How can you not tell me this informative? I guarantee you, if anyone watches this, they'll be at home thinking, you know what? Where is in the workplace? Where's like the most difficult place to have a wank? In what work environment would it be? Because if you put yourself in a scenario, even if you work in a factory, if you work in a slaughterhouse or something, you can go out to the toilet still.
A deep sea diver.
Deep sea diving.
I mean, you're not going to take the suit off just to have it bust one out, are you? And I mean, let's be fair, there's more than one thing that down there that nibble a worm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be quite difficult.
Astronaut.
Oh, don't get me started on that, because I'm fascinated with the idea of sex in space. And like wanking in space.
Right.
Because any position is feasible. Because there is no up, down, left or right.
Right, but the flip side of that is what positions are you thinking of trying on Earth that aren't feasible here?
Well no, so imagine it. When you do missionary, gravity pulls you down, lady, man, yeah? Well in space, that doesn't matter.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So like any angle, you don't have to worry about. Like when you're trying to go side of the bed, you can't get quite comfortable. It doesn't matter because you're floating in space, so you can get into those positions. You could get the lady and just do that.
Yeah, but in space.
I think in here you can.
that was the tagline.
That's the alien porno that I do not want to see. Little Bella with a little. That's it.
As it does that, it just catches out. Oh no. I don't want to see your face hugger again.
Oh, there's going to be porn of that.
Oh, undoubtedly, yeah.
Now I have to search for it. Do you know what I mean?
You can search this one.
I'll search this, I'll have a look, and then in the next podcast we do, I'll come back to you with the relevant information.
That's how it works. I mean, I'm not sure this should be allowed to be the first one. It might be a terrible introduction.
Why would it be?
What do you guys talk
This
about?
is exactly what we like.
This is true.
And like how, like there's loads of other podcasts out there that talk about loads of stuff. There's podcasts that are literally just about drugs. And those ones are very scientific, they're very research driven, but then there's lots of times where they're just like, I got fucked up this one time. There's loads of other podcasts that talk about sex. There's loads, whatever you think this is bad, it's not. If you're Christian, it might be a little bit, you know.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that.
We're sinners. But then...
We haven't done it yet, so. But what I am, I've got cool man. Yeah, so anyway, back to space. Back to astronauts.
Okay.
What was that? Oh! Any astronauts out there, right? If you've had a wank in space, if you're watching this for some reason, comment below. Yeah?
I mean, if we get an astronaut that's telling us that he's
just make a random account, like just one of those throwaway accounts, and just
tell us
tell
all
us.
about it.
Someone
Do
must
we
have
have to
had
chase it around space?
You'd have to contain it. You'd have to like wank into a bottle or something. Do you reckon they designed that? Do you reckon that's a like thing you're gonna have a wank in space?
I mean,
there has to be science behind the safest way to do that because you've got to go to the toilet in space.
I wonder if that's how a fleshlight was created. There's actually a lot of logic there, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never researched how flashlights are. I don't
know, but it's just something you stick your dick in, I think.
Yeah.
It looks like a torch, doesn't it? So I assume a device that you can...
Because you're up there for a long time.
Guys
Some
on
people
the
are there for like
International
8 months.
Space Station,
Yeah.
like they're there for a long time, yeah. So yeah, I imagine they'll be there a while, and they will have worked out how they can bust one. And I think that's probably where the or some derivative
There we go.
of fleshlights are used, I imagine.
Yeah.
And then they probably use that to fertilise their goldfish or something.
Space goldfish.
That requires spunky fertiliser.
Mm.
But yeah, so I imagine that is... They've got to do it.
Comment, yeah. Sit more like this.
Dicks out for Buzz
Sit
Aldrin.
more like this.
Oh,
This is a learning curve for podcasts. I want to see if it's more central so you can see us what we're talking about. I don't know. If you're just like this. Yeah, anyway. I don't know.
I didn't really... I'll be
Anyway, so wanking in space.
But on the religious side of things, why can't you have a wank?
It's just written down.
I don't know why religion then sprung to this one, we know what I'm like. But I was watching the CCTV and this dude was going off about the vaccines for all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
About that it's his body, they can't make him take a vaccine and that. And then the woman interviewed him and goes, can you just remind us what was your views on abortion? And he's like, it's a sin.
Yeah.
Just that irony of people.
That's a touchy subject, isn't it?
Let's avoid that. Let's get back to wanking.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that
Something we
wanking
know
was
more,
something we could
You can say where
the
it's kind of
craft.
Oh. Yeah, wanking in space. I mean, just sex in space in general. Like, so for me, when I'm having like those crazy runaway thoughts, like different planets, because of the gravitational pull and things like that. Like, imagine how far you'd be able to jizz on the moon.
That's literally what I was thinking. Like, if you bust one and just went, how quickly would it take to go past Pluto? Say if you were stood on Earth, right?
Well, no, so it would have to be, so you're like floating in space where Earth is. You can be alive in space.
Yeah, and
we just have to get this out of the way. So
hypothetically,
if you were some sort of godlike creature that could survive in space, in the vacuum of death, that is space, and you could bust a nut. There's a couple of things there. A, how fast does spunk come out? It's about 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, 33.
and you know that we, as a species of males, are probably the least accurate in the world when it comes to spunky donkeying.
Spunky donkeying?
Every time, like you literally, if you're ever in a position where you're going to take it out and you're going to go somewhere, and you aim for somewhere, it fucking goes somewhere else. Every time. Don't get it in my hair. And you go, okay, I won't. And you even point it down, and it goes on top of the head, and you go like, oh, I'm just going to be angry at me.
Don't worry, love.
Back to space.
Something about Mary.
Yeah. So you're in space, you wank towards, how fast would you get to Pluto? But then wouldn't that just be a calculation of, like, there's the Earth, that's Earth, this is Earth, that's Pluto. If you're facing that direction, and you're above Earth, and you have a wank, and you fire it 30 miles an hour, wouldn't you just have to calculate the distance between...
Well, I was wondering that, but is it only 33 miles per hour because it's under gravitational pull here? So is it already slowed?
I think it's out.
Would it be
I think it's out. Like, as it comes out, it's 30 miles an hour, obviously it'll slow down. Because if it was 30 miles an hour, it would go quite far.
Oh, would it be slowed? Because obviously, surely everything's not contracted as much because it's not under gravitational pull. So actually it might fire even slower.
No, so you're saying if you came in space, it might just go...
Yeah. Astronauts, we need you. Where's Buzz Aldrin when you want it? Buzz, I got a question.
Oh my god, so many answers. If you jizzed, like, if you're completely upright.
I don't know why we fully just ended up on wanking in space.
It's just happens. But like, if you jizzed, would it create enough pressure to push you back?
Spunk powered.
Because like, if you did a fart you did a couple of Sundays ago, where it went on for like 5 seconds and it was so loud. Do you reckon that would genuinely give you, if you did that, do you reckon it'd have the force to make you go?
I think so.
Like a little bit, just a little
There's
bit.
absolute zero resistance in space.
That's what I mean.
So,
like, if you got in a little position like this, you'd at least, I think, travel.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
You'd probably travel because even though there's no gravity, your central mass isn't, like, your butthole isn't directly.
Oh, so
alive,
if
so
you farted like here, it'd go.
Yeah, so you kind of go.
So you'd have to angle yourself.
Yeah.
You'd have to go, Houston.
Yeah. Science there, though.
The science of farting in space.
If anyone could do the calculations of just how long it would take, so the average jizz speed, and how long it would take to get from Earth to Pluto if it was in space. Because I'd be fascinated by that. I don't know why. And do you move in space if you fart? Because they would have farted on the space station, so they'd be able to tell you. If they could keep themselves perfectly still.
And then fart.
But then it's quite hard to do that when you're in a moving ship. But then you'll move with...
Isn't there some forum thing where you can ask people up on the International Space Station?
I mean, you could just do it on Reddit, couldn't you?
Reddit, probably no, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It probably has been hashed already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't be the only weird ones out there.
Oh, like, I was having this conversation with my ex and her family, because like they were kind of like, not the wanking space, but the way it's like loads of crap's going on in the world, terrorism and stuff like this, and I was just like, they were saying, oh, this is horrendous, isn't it? It's really bad. like all these like people who were being murdered for no reason, these terrorists, ISIS and stuff like that. Because ISIS was really big like 4 years ago.
I mean, it's still pretty big.
Yeah, but like it was all over the news.
Yeah, but that's because they needed to peddle their story. Now they don't need to tell.
And it was all over the news, and everyone was talking about it. And they were like, "Oh, it's really bad, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but you didn't see, like, you know, the 20 kids that got beheaded in a bus because you know, for religious reasons from this group." I was like, whatever you think's bad in the world, other people are worse. Like, and then that got me thinking, like, whatever I can think of, the worst thing I can think of, someone is sort of worse. Because if you look at movies, someone like the Human Centipede, someone would think of that.
Yeah, but someone actually did it. But I think
they did it. Was it inspired, or did someone do it after the movie?
No, I'm pretty sure there was this dude that did it, like some Chinese guy. I think there was only 3 in the one that he did.
But there's only 3 in the first one.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think it's the
basically
last
that
one where there's
inspired the
hundreds of
movie.
people. Shit pants.
That's what inspired the movie, though, is that some Chinese guy actually did it.
Because I was trying to think the other day, it's like, whatever you can think of, someone's done worse. Whatever is the worst thing you can think of, someone has physically done worse.
Yeah, I mean, I never know if it's based on truth, but didn't they used to, in the Mummy movie, they put someone in a coffin with just scarab beetles in there, and they used to put tins on, like, metal buckets on people, and then heat the buckets, so the only way for the rat.
Oh, old school torture is disgusting.
Yeah.
Old school torture is like, because you got stuff like the iron bull, like, which is basically you got put in a bronze bull, and then set a fire underneath you, and you cook alive from the inside. Or they keep you in there for days and take the heat on and off. Yeah, there was that one where it was like a pyramid, and like they'd have you like tied up, and they'd slowly lower you down onto it, and it would go up your bum, and it would slowly split open. Yeah, there's also. But that would take sometimes it would take days to weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at bamboo torture that was used against troops because it would grow an inch a day, so each day an extra inch. Yeah. Yeah, koala bears eating that.
It's that, isn't it? And that's like, that's crazy torture.
Yeah, so all in all, laughing about space wanks is pretty normal.
Yeah. I think we should call it that.
What? Call it that? Laughing about space wanks? A, because it's
absolutely boiling, and B, it's 42 minutes in.
All we've done is discuss wanking there.
30 minutes of wanking. I think this is the bit where we say goodbye. And when we come back, we'll have more facts about wanking in space.
I mean,
or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we might be able to get someone involved. Someone who has wanking.
Someone who's got the knowledge. Someone who's got the space knowledge. There's got to be scientists out there who know this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's got to be.
They've got to have made people wanking vacuums. Not if you're like your Henry. I'm pretty sure that happened in Scary
Movie. Doesn't break even when you wank into it. It's like...
With special cum extraction.
Yeah. Designed with your wank in mind. Just like...
I know you've called the end to it, but there was this dude, like the old school Hoovers. I don't know if you're aware of this, right?
You put your knob in one. The way you looked at me then was like... I've got a serious story to tell.
The old school Hoovers used to be ran by like this fan just inside the hole that spun. So some dude wanting to get himself off
pop his knob in there
and cut his own Johnson off on his Henry.
Johnson.
Yeah. It was Dr. Johnson, so have you seen Bezos' fucking dick machine?
No.
What, have you not seen the shape of Jeff Bezos' spaceship?
No.
So his spaceship is, you've been talking about dick in space. I thought this is what inspired it. No, Jeff Bezos' his spaceship went up like yesterday or something.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos has gone to space?
But hold on.
No, I didn't even know Jeff Bezos. I've been so busy.
I don't know if he went, but I know he's made a spaceship.
Look it up now. You're my research man.
But there's all sorts of parts here, literally, because I thought this inspired it, mate. Did you not see the shape of his rocket?
No!
Which was so Oh, that's a video. Right, go back. Images. Let me show you Jeff Bezos' spaceship. Have you ever seen Austin Powers where he's like, and there's a Johnson, and then he goes, wow, what a nice pair of balls, or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is. But basically, he made a giant dildo go to space.
No!
That is his dick ship.
No!
It literally, you know the scene on the scanners going
It's a
around.
dildo.
It is, isn't it?
It's a massive dildo.
And yeah, but
It's more so like a butt plug because it's got the prongs at the bottom to stop it going all the way up. And getting
yeah,
lost.
and it's got like the dick-shaped tip.
Can you find out if he went into space? Type, is Jeff Bezos in space?
Can we close the borders? Is that possible? Leave him up there. Cool. Blue Origin launches Jeff Bezos to space.
He's in space.
He's in space.
I don't believe it. Is he going to do a video from space?
Don't know.
So what if he just fucks off?
Oh, he's already back. How long will the space trip last? About 10 minutes.
Oh,
Why wank in space?
So he went up in the shuttle, went into the outer. He went to outer space, and then. The thing is, though, that's a lot of commitment, and that's a lot of trust you have in a company.
Actually, the entire flight is expected to last 10 minutes. So he literally got up there, touched it, and came back. What a waste of fucking resources. But, I guess...
But that's what I mean, like, considering, like, that's... He put himself in that ship to do that. Because that could have failed like that.
But, so...
Go on, sorry.
Sorry, the best part that I saw about all it, so they're doing the interview thing with the team, it went up, all it was... And the dude literally turned round into it and went, oh, just to thank all you guys, because you guys buying all your stuff over this period has paid for all this, all your tax money has paid for all this, so thank you guys for spending all that money for us. And I'm just like, you arrogant son, for a company that doesn't pay its tax. Probably. But yeah, so he shot off to space for 10 minutes and burnt up so much more.
Yeah, because it's crazy the amount of fuel you need to get a kilo up.
To get past, all for a 10-minute flight.
Which is, well, in the next podcast, I'm going to tell you what I've got as an idea to get things in space better. Alright? I'll say it in the next one. I might have already told you.
The guy from Up's got the right idea.
Balloons. Anyway, I've been MrPtrick. This has been Mr. Robert. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. And Tim.
If you're not wanking.